Proofreading. Proofreading, I'd say you need to just be on point with checking everything that you do. From a marketing standpoint, you are the face of the company. Anything that goes out from marketing represents the brand of the company that you work for. So you need to make sure that it's all correct, spell checked, grammar, everything. So you would be surprised how important punctuation and grammar is in marketing. So there's a skill, although I'm sure that you're probably learning that at uni. Also, what are some of the activities or organisations, etc., that you were involved in during university that you believed helped you develop as a marketeer? I was a student ambassador. Excellent application as far as marketing's concerned. You are the face of the university because you are a real life student, but talking about university life from the perspective that I guess the university would want you to. So I used to take people around on tours for open days, and I used to do presentations, which really helped my public speaking skills. In marketing, depending on the kind of job you do, you may or may not need to present that much, but the higher up you get, the more frequent presenting back things become. So you might present a campaign that your team has just rolled out. You might be presenting a new concept to your, senior partner at your firm. Presenting is really important, and being a student ambassador really helped me with that. It also helped to build my confidence, and it helped for me to think about the things that were important to somebody coming into university or making the decision about what university to go to, and really play on those. So you're essentially marketing for the university, talking about its strengths, all the good, societies and stuff people can join, showing around the accommodation. You become a real ambassador. So if there is a student ambassador program, or if you can do like open day tours or get involved some way doing that, then that's a great place to start. Oh, really good question. How is job security? Is it very cutthroat or very competition heavy? Less competition heavy. It's not like sales, which is can be quite targeted and quite sort of what's the word? Yeah, quite cutthroat. Marketing is, I would say it's quite secure, to be honest. Most companies these days are recognising the need to have a sort of marketing engine to make their brand known, especially now that people are so information overloaded. Companies need really clever marketeers who can come up with new and interesting and different ways to get a message across to a different audience, or to a wider audience even. So I'd say job security is pretty good right now. Probably better than it was before, because more companies have realised how important marketing is, and there are so many more channels that the business world is trying to get its head around. You've got things like Snapchat, Instagram, and all sorts that companies haven't necessarily learned how to apply marketing principles to this in a business context. So there is so much opportunity. How do you know what type of marketing is right for you? Is there a good way to see what type of marketing is the best fit? I'd say just do your research into different areas of marketing and see which sounds the most interesting. Or do an internship that allows you to do a bit of everything, and then you've actually done it, so you can tell for yourself whether you could do it on a daily basis. Does everyone have to work their way up, or can you get a top position automatically via something like an MBA? Interesting, and in my opinion, I think you do have to work your way up. I don't think a qualification on paper is going to get you a managerial role, if I'm honest, unless it's a very small company and you're the only marketing member of staff there. But other than that, I'd say you want to work your way up, because then if you go in really high, you don't necessarily know what it takes to do all the groundwork and what skills are needed and how long things take. So I always think the sign of a good manager is someone who has done the legwork before. So I'd say it's best to work your way up, because then you really know what you're doing and you really understand what it takes to implement certain marketing activities, and then you can ultimately be a better leader. Someone asks, what is the best way to get experience in marketing? I'm studying marketing as my degree, but struggling to find real work experience. If this is not possible, what other work skills relate to a marketing job role that I could look to develop? Thank you in advance. I worked in an education centre for kids before my first proper marketing job, and That involved tutoring, so testing them on their maths, English, and sort of literacy. So there was an element of, you know, punctuation, grammar, all that sort of stuff. Then there was a business side in that we had to like really try and ensure that parents renewed and that they were paying their fees on time, and you know that they were getting a report on how their children were doing. So that's a whole reporting back and relationship building that we had to do. And then there was an element of sales, so we would have to go out into the shopping supermarket. So the education centre was in a supermarket to make it convenient for parents to like leave their kids there while they shop. And we'd have to go out into the supermarket and essentially flyer and tell people about the service. So very sales and marketing focused that job was. And it was a really good dip in the pond. So I would say you don't necessarily have to do a marketing job to gain marketing experience, but anything that allows you to be in front of people and talking to people, implementing or working on a project, reporting back on that project, building relationships with people, all relevant skills in marketing, I would say. And to be honest, you can watch a lot of YouTube videos online and learn how to use a lot of marketing software. I would recommend that definitely, because that's really what makes the difference in terms of the types of roles you can get. So in terms of marketing software, I would say Eloqua or what's the other one? Marketo, Salesforce. Watch videos about those 3 pieces of software online and just find out what they are and get an understanding as to how to use them from a basic standpoint, and that'll put you in good stead. If you can find the software itself and download it and use it, even better. I'd also say if you maybe started up your own mock company and practiced on that, like marketing that to people, that would be a good place to start. And that shows that, you know, you've kind of really been like a lead person as far as marketing is concerned for yourself. So there you go. If you have a YouTube channel, you are automatically a marketing expert, particularly if you've built up a subscriber base, because that takes every element of marketing you can think of to, you know, to grow an audience. So there you go. Someone said, hope it's not too late. I don't work in marketing, though I am curious as to what skills do successful people in marketing possess that make them stand out from their counterparts or competition. I would say they are great presenters. They are great listeners as well and can take on board feedback. And I would also say they are really big ideas people and really creative thinkers, because the really successful people in marketing have implemented really successful campaigns. And I think the elements of a really successful marketing campaign are innovation. So was it a new idea? Did they, you know, execute the campaign in a different way? I would say that campaign, like a successful campaign, has to get good results. So lots of people have to see it, interact with it. And, you know, they really rallied people to kind of spread the word and really make it all come together. So successful people in marketing encompass all of those things. And they're also good talkers, I'd say, good presenters. Have I already said that? Probably. But anyway, that's what I would say. I'm currently in my final year studying marketing. I'm looking to work on the agency side. What is the best way to get a job in this area? I've already answered that, but find someone who works in an agency or just apply for agency roles. What about public relations? Do you have any experience with it? Minimal. Public relations, I guess, is really about how you interact, or how the company you work for interacts with the press, so journalists basically. And a lot of this is done through contributing to articles on popular topics that journalists are trying to write about, interacting with journalists when you're about to launch a new product line if you're a company, and just getting the word out around that. And also, I guess, ensuring that journalists are interacting with really key or senior people in your business, so that they're quoting them on, you know, in articles, or getting sort of opinions or like bylines from them in really sort of well-read publication. So that is broadly all I know about PR. I've done elements of it in previous roles, but I've never been fully involved in PR, so I couldn't really say in much more detail than that, what it's all about. But generally it's about press relations, and interacting with journalists and making sure that your company is profiled in a positive way with the media. Could someone transition into marketing without a specific qualification? I've studied law. By doing several internships. Yes, you could just get some marketing experience, talk to some people in marketing, make some contacts, and market yourself. I always say the best place to start if you want to gain marketing experience is market yourself. So learn to present yourself in the best way forward, and that could be done if you're applying for jobs with your CV, or that could be if you want to launch a new business venture on your own and you want to market that. That's a really good place to just practice how to market things. So those are the questions I had there. I believe I had some on Instagram, so let me find those. What do you do every day? Like, how do you pick projects? I don't get to pick projects. I'm kind of just given them. I haven't gotten to a stage in my career where I get to say what I want to do. I kind of take on whatever the team needs to do and take on projects that, you know, that we ultimately like need to do and that fit my skills and that have been divided out to me. So that's that. What do I do every day? I've kind of explained that in an earlier question, but generally from my perspective, I will work on events, email campaigns, what else? Putting together copy, adverts, working with partners to market our services through them, and yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Maybe a bit of social media, but one of my other colleagues deals with that mostly. And then the final question is some of your notes from college, maybe, like what was the most important stuff you learned that you still use in everyday life? I would say that I remember nothing that I learned at uni, apart from the 4 Ps, which I'm pretty sure I learnt at secondary school. There isn't like, and maybe how to do a SWOT analysis, but rarely have I ever done that in a professional environment, and rarely are they ever used, to be honest. So what did I learn in my education that I think is really useful now? How to work as a team, as a group. I remember we used to do a lot of group coursework in university, and in marketing roles most of the time you'll be working as part of a team, so working with people is something that you need to be comfortable with, particularly at the start of your marketing career, and also actually when you get sort of more senior, because you will have a team under you most likely. I would say that what would be really useful for universities or marketing, or like professional marketing bodies that are offering qualifications, is to teach people how to use marketing software. So teach people how to use CRM, which is customer relationship management software. Teach people how to use marketing automation software, which is what we use in marketing to send out campaigns, and explain to people how the two systems work together. Cover more about social media marketing, because I think there's still a lack of theory around how to do it well, and everyone's just kind of, you know, sticking their finger in the air and hoping it works. But yeah, I think that professional marketing qualifications are lacking in a lot of relevant knowledge. So hey, if somebody could have taught me how to use Eloqua or Salesforce or Dynamics CRM when I was at uni, I would have probably progressed further than I have now. But I was lucky enough to be taught that in my, what was it, like my 3rd marketing role, and I was lucky to go into an organisation where they were happy to train me. So yeah, I would say that unfortunately you're going to get a lot of theory from university, but if you're like me and you just cram for exams, you're going to forget all of it, and to be honest, not a lot of it will be applicable. So I would say experience will be your best teacher. And number 1 piece of advice, which is what I did, if I could say to do anything, I would do a sandwich degree. So if you're doing a degree in marketing, do a sandwich degree, which means you do 2 years of study, and then in your 3rd year you take a year out and you do a work placement. So you're actually working full time and getting a salary in a company doing a real person's job and gaining real marketing experience. That has been the most valuable thing I've ever done as far as my marketing career is concerned, and I don't think I would have been employed so soon out of university had I not done that. And then obviously once you finish your placement year, you go back to university. But the other benefit about doing a placement year in a company is that often if they know that you're going to go back to uni and then be looking for a job after, they might offer you something when you've graduated. So definitely do a degree that allows you to get work experience as part of it, and I would say that is my number one marketing tip for, you know, progressing in your career or starting out in your career. But yes, that's all the questions I have received and probably have time for, if I'm honest. I don't want to make this video too long, but I hope it's been helpful for you all. I'm thinking I'm just going to do this every so often as part of the Marketing 101 series. So if you have any more questions, comment them down below, and if I get enough I'll do another video. If not, I'll just kind of answer your questions in the comments box. But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe. I upload 3 times a week on a Tuesday, Thursday and a Sunday. Bye!